Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
I'm Sandra Priestley. Welcome to our podcast and happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
I am on a water kick. I'm
Yes.
always on a water kick. Here's the difference. Today, I am not just saying I'm on a water kick and then drinking one glass of water.
Hmm.
Today, I'm like focused on water.
Yeah.
So I'm on like a water obsession mission. I'm on a water mission to drink all of my water. So I'm just drinking plain ass water.
I'm on plain ass water too, with no ice cubes.
All right, there you
So,
go. Just prior to me getting on this podcast, I got a message from my daughter, and she is doing her clinical for her school. And she had made a mistake. Now, what was interesting is this is why they do clinicals, right?
yeah,
Like it's so that they are in a supportive environment where they can make mistakes and learn from them. And usually that's the way we learn. Those are the
that's
greatest
exactly the way we learn.
lessons. The
Yeah.
greatest lessons are when we learn. If we she is really, really good at IVs. She's in nursing,
Hmm.
really good at IVs. And so she just goes in, and the girls are like, man, Shay makes it look so easy. Well, I don't know how that happened, but I'm telling you, she would learn from the ones where she couldn't get it.
Yeah.
She would learn way more from the things that she struggles with.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is she has this unbelievable pressure she puts on herself
Mm.
and diagnosed with high performance anxiety. So, and I mean, it made so much sense as soon as she got that diagnosis. Is like, oh, yes. Because as soon as she has any type of mistake, any type of disappointment, any type of doesn't do well on an exam. And
Hmm.
I mean, not just like, this is not like I got 20% on an exam. This is like I didn't get 80% on an exam. She is like obsessed with the mistake, and she will not let it go.
Yeah.
And she beats herself up and she cries and she fears, and it's like, what if I fail, and what if I don't pass this, and what if I'm on a learning contract? I'm like, whoa, let's rewind here. It was a mistake and no one died,
Hmm.
and you will never make that mistake again.
Right.
It's all good. Like
And
her
wouldn't she
mistakes and
rather learn that now when
no,
she's
the
got
answer is
this?
no.
But
She wouldn't.
that's the only way we learn. That
Exactly.
is, and
Exactly. And there was oh man, like over the last few years that she's done clinicals, there will be like she will make a minor, like it's a minor error. And oh, she just beats herself up to the point where it's like almost crushing.
yeah,
And so she phoned me just prior to this call. And she said, I've been upset for 4 hours. I'm like, 4 hours? What the fuck?
mm,
You can't change what happened in the past. And you have no control over how your instructor will respond to you. What you can do now is start now because your patients still need you.
yeah,
Like the mistake is a mistake and you'll learn from it. And the fact that you feel so deeply about it means you fucking care.
yeah,
And she cares a
yeah,
lot. She cares a lot about her patients, her performance, how she's perceived in that profession. But like, she's got to show the fuck up. And I started thinking about how many times we do this. My clients do this. My son does this, even how many times do we do this in conversations, where you have a conversation with a friend and you say something and then they're pissed off or they don't talk to you for 3 days or something, and you start to perseverate. Why did I say that? I shouldn't have said that. Why did I say that? You have an argument with your husband or your kid. Why did I say that? I shouldn't have said that. Oh, is this going to cause massive problems? How many ways can I apologize? How many things can I do? How can I, like, and we sit in this, oh, I made a mistake. I'm an awful person.
Mhm. Yep.
Like, wow, we punish the shit out of ourselves. And it's
Well,
so easy to see when someone else does it that they don't deserve the punishment. But holy shit, I have had to work hard at not punishing myself in the
well,
same way.
when we do that, first of all, we're setting an example for our children to
Mhm.
follow suit.
Mhm.
But we miss the lesson.
Right.
Like the lesson was a gift because what if that happened to make her like snap out of it and go, this is something really important that you need to pay attention to so that it didn't happen on the other side of school when it really matters.
Right. Nothing bad happened.
This was a gift. And
Right.
so many of our things that pop up for us are just that. They're gifts, even they're mistakes that we
Yeah.
made. But what
Yeah.
we learn from them is life changing. But if we sit in pity and fear and freak out mode
Yeah.
because we did something stupid, we're not
Right.
showing up.
Well, and like I said to her, you need to get back, focus from
Yeah.
this point on.
Hmm.
Because the more you're thinking about the past, the more you're not thinking about what you got to do in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You could fuck up something else,
Worse.
right? Get your shit back together here, girl,
Hmm.
because you have to be in the moment. This is not like I think air traffic controller would be, but even I noticed this is something that my son really focuses on and their team really focuses on is
Hmm.
reset. They will say flush it. So like they can make a mistake on the field. And I mean, it's like on the football field, it's like milliseconds you've got to respond, right? And
Yeah.
so easy to make a mistake. But you can make a mistake that can cause a touchdown, or you can lose the ball, or you can fumble it, or whatever. And it could cause, but like you have to be able to flush it and get back in the game. Like
Hmm.
next play. It's
Yeah.
like you can't do anything about the last play. You can't do anything
Well,
about the
you'll
fact
throw away the whole game if you do.
your ass chewed out from you.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. You could throw away the whole game. You could fuck everything up.
Yeah.
So you've got to like, okay, one bad play, let's go.
Yep.
And there's a reason that they spend so much time on that
Hmm.
in football, in hockey, in pro ball, in like,
Yeah.
because we all spend so much time back focusing, obsessing about what we fucked up, and we're not in the now anymore.
No.
Oh,
Living in the past.
living in the past.
This just popped into my head. I'd forgotten about this. So it was earlier on in our marriage, and Paul and I were going through a rough time, and he worked like nights, and I worked days, and we had Oprah dates every, like, I think every day. I would be getting home from work before he had to go in. And so it was like 3 o'clock, and I would get home and we would sit down and watch Oprah together.
Wow.
And it was when she was in her Gary Zukav phase.
Mhm.
And I want to say even Eckhart Tolle. But so she had these people on that got us thinking. And of course, we're buying all the books and reading. And he got much more into Eckhart before I did. Like,
Okay.
loved him. But like Gary Zukav's Seat of the Soul,
Mhm.
Ayanla Van Zant, remember her?
No.
She was spectacular. I'm trying to remember what she wrote, but she's another amazing one. But it was that kind of where we were working on ourselves and our marriage without realizing that's what we were doing.
I love it.
Yeah. That is bizarre. It's like that memory was gone.
Yeah.
And then now, poof, it just popped back in my head.
Yeah.
I went to a women's luncheon for Women's Day last,
Mm.
was it last Thursday? I think it was last Thursday.
Yeah.
And it was for our county. So it was like Cedar Park and Leander and Georgetown and Round Rock and Pflugerville. I mean, it was many, many cities.
Right.
And it was all women. And it was put on by the Chamber of Commerce. And they did a phenomenal job. Like all of the cities' chambers got together and put this thing together. It was first year, it was unbelievable. But it was an awards banquet, and to watch a room full of women that are leaders in our community cheer each other on. There were people from every industry that you could imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the winners has a trash company.
Oh,
I mean,
cool.
it was all over the place, and the amount of support
Uh-huh.
and I feel that in our community here.
Right.
I don't feel
Maybe
that
it's social
pettiness,
media. Maybe it's social media. But
and
I do know, I mean, on International Women's Day, the same people who were shitting on Kylie Perkins are also empowered women, empower women. On International Women's Day, they're like, it's like a social media shifted
but
to, I don't know, it's so crazy.
I feel like someone, and I don't know who, and it doesn't matter, but they're shaking our jar as far as they're trying to pit us, maybe not the
Yes.
two of us, but generally
Yeah.
people against each other. It's the red ant, black ant theory. Put them in there, they're fine until someone shakes the jar.
Mhm.
Our jar is being shook, and everyone's afraid of somebody. And so it's really easy to get in there and start spewing garbage and have people think that it's everywhere, and it's not. If we would just fucking communicate, we would find out how much we have in common.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I
And we
know.
have to do more of that and stop with the bashing of people. Like, if you don't like them,
I
don't
know.
talk about them.
There was
Don't.
this one, I saw the cutest TikTok, and it was this woman. She was maybe 78, 80
Mm,
in around
mm,
there. And she like cans her own things, and so she just kind of does these like really cute videos where she kind of gets back to like, I don't want to say the old days because lots of people can and lots of people make their own sourdough and
yeah,
everything now, but like almost like, like homes, like how you would see homesteaders or like, when we were growing up kind of thing, like like don't eat out, but like home cooked meals and things.
yeah.
And so she was doing her dishes and like washing her sealer jars. And she's talking and she's like, "You girls, leave Mel Robbins alone." And she was the cutest little thing. And I thought, man, that's the best ever. Like,
Oh,
just leave Mel Robbins alone. She's just doing a good job. She's
yeah,
just helping people out. If you don't like her, pass on by.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I Ah,
Mhm.
so
We
nice.
all need that attitude.
Mm-hmm.
But I ran across this quote. Mona and Maria are here, and I don't know if it was Sunday morning. it popped up on my phone and I sent it to both of them. But in sending it to both of them, I sent it also to myself because I needed to hear it just as much as they did. But it says, the universe said, I need you to get excited again. I need you to remember you're not in this thing alone. I'm working on your challenges. I have already assigned angels to you. So let go of the stress and just trust me. I've got a pretty incredible ending in store. In fact, that's why you need to get excited again, because the happy ending I've got coming is going to rock your world. That is by John McAvoy. McAvoy?
Oh, the golfer?
I don't
Is
know.
he a golfer?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
I don't follow golf, but I feel like he's a golfer. I
But
don't.
it is so true. We get so bogged down and worried. And like that would be great advice for Mel if she's seeing herself getting bashed online. Like, that's the distraction. Focus on
Yeah,
where you're going.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, the just like with Kylie Perkins, right? The more people that are like, what do they say? Bad press is still press, or bad press
Or,
is all press is good press, or something like that.
yeah.
I mean, the more people that say, "Oh, Mel Robbins," the more people are going to Mel Robbins.
Mhm.
And like, I love her podcast. I love her videos. Like, I mean, so you're never going to convince me. It doesn't really like
No.
you show up on one of
You're
her
just going
videos.
to look like an ass.
Right. You show up and you start watching one of your videos, and if you're the person that would like her, you're going to like her. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter what anyone else says, right? But I feel like I've spent so much time in fear instead of faith,
Mm.
and in making sure that I make the right decision, because hindsight's 2020, and what if I fuck something up? And I really, in the last, honestly, in 2025, when I started with the let them theory, when I started focusing on the other things that I could control and not things that I couldn't control, I started to realize like I just have more faith.
Mhm.
I just sit in faith more than I sit in fear, and more
Yeah.
than I sit in this need to control the outcome, because I believe that if something is meant for me, it will not pass me by, no matter what the fuck I do.
Nope.
And I think that we are always going to end up where we're meant to be.
Yeah. And Peter Crone was saying that when I was listening to him earlier today, that it wasn't supposed to be. That's why it didn't happen.
Right, right.
Like, stop
Mhm.
going, why did this happen? Or why didn't this happen? Or what? Because it wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, focus. This is a
Well,
distraction.
yeah. You know what's interesting is in 2025,
Mm.
I've really focused on my own desire to say the right things in order to affect change for someone else. So, and this is my own bullshit trauma. This is my dad was an alcoholic, and I am watching him destroy himself as a kid.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, this is so fucking easy. Just stop drinking, right? This is so, and I'm not seeing it from his perspective. I'm not seeing it as this is his only coping strategy he's got.
Yeah.
It's a fucked up one, but it's the only one he's got right now. And I am like, I'm just going, just don't drink. Just don't buy the alcohol. Just pour it out. What the fuck is your problem? Right? Like, and my entire childhood, I feel, was me feeling like if I can say the right fucking words,
Mhm. Mhm.
he will stop. And I
A lot
have,
for a kid.
It's a lot for a 7-year-old and an 8 and 10 and 20 and
Yeah,
24. And,
yeah,
um, and so what happened was because I was raised with that fucked up thought in my brain, which I
mhm,
think is common probably for children of alcoholics, but, I started recognizing just this year. I mean, it's taken me a lot of time, but I've realized shit, I am taking on everyone else's life, my clients, my kids, my everyone around me. And I'm seeing, okay, this is where their situation is. This is what I see it to be, because I'm omnipotent. I don't know, but like this is how I see it, and I'm cocky enough to believe that I'm right. And so, what do I need to do to say, or what do I need to say for this person to open up their eyes and stop suffering?
mhm. You know what you need to say?
Oh, what?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, whoa, there's a thing.
What did I miss?
I know, but I mean, and reading Mel, right? Let them have their journey. And I
Yeah,
had to really stop myself from trying to control the outcome.
yeah, yeah.
And, but wow, as it turns out, my coping strategy was that,
Mhm.
right? So,
Yeah, let me
my coping,
control it.
let me control it so that I can stop them from suffering in the future. I can stop myself from having to deal with the crisis.
Yeah,
But my gift is being able to deal with crises.
yeah.
I mean, I can pretty much handle anything. I don't think anything would shock me.
Hmm.
And it's a little bit harder for myself, but for patients, or if it's for clients rather, I mean, I it doesn't matter what they tell me. I feel like I could coach them through it. And so I can handle the hard, but I'm avoiding the hard by trying to manipulate the current, right? And I don't want to see anyone suffer. But if I neutralize their suffering, then they don't learn the lesson. It's like
And
they
then
are
you're fixing it for them forever. Yeah,
right.
because they are incapable, or they think they are. I remember, and I don't remember what kid it was, but kind of watching one of our kids go through some stuff, and I remember it clicking. You have an internal guidance system, and your path is not like that of your families. Like
Mhm.
you have gone in a very different direction in life than anyone in your family has gone down. Like I'm on a different road.
Mhm.
I was led there by my internal guidance system, by
Yeah.
source, by God, by the angels. And I could hear, do this, go here, do this, try this, called and I acted on it without anyone telling me, you have to do this, you better do this, you need to. Family wasn't really in love with the path either. I remember going, if it's true for me
Mhm.
that I have an internal guidance system, that I was led to exactly where I'm at now, that I would not trade for anything.
Yeah.
They have the same voice
Mhm.
and the same guidance system within them. So I don't necessarily get a say on where
Yeah.
it takes them, but I have to trust them to listen and follow it and create a beautiful life for themselves.
Yeah.
And it was
And
freeing.
it is freeing. And as you're speaking, I'm thinking two things. I'm thinking whenever I have watched my kids follow it, it has been so beautiful.
Yeah.
Even this weekend, Cole was flying back from British Columbia and he got stuck at the ferry for 3 hours, which made them late for their flight. And they get there and they're 43 minutes from takeoff, but they close the gates at 45 minutes prior to takeoff. So, with 2 minutes to spare, they're late. He texts me, missed the flight. Next flight I can get out is $610. Wanting to kill him. But I mean, he's already looked online. He's already taking care of this. He's 22 and he is like, he's pretty good with traveling. And he says, I said, okay, so you're going to have to get on that flight. Like you got to be at practice tomorrow morning at 5:30. So you got to be on that flight. And he's like, yep, already in line. And I said, okay, so you're going to book in with the person at the desk. And he goes, yeah, I just feel like I need to be in with the person at the desk. I'm not going to risk it with the online stuff. So he goes, he tells her, I got to get on the field at 6 o'clock. I have to be there's no option. I got to be on a flight. So you tell me when I'm going to be on the flight. Because it was so close, she gave him $160 flight on the $610 flight. He gets it for $160. Now, what was interesting is the two people that were with him, they panicked. He said, I'll get it figured. And he has this amazing guidance system that he's always listened to. So he's like, I get it figured. I'll get it figured. No. So they took $100 cab to the next airport. They rented a hotel for probably $300 because it was Vancouver. They took the flights out the next day at 5 p.m., $204 each, because they didn't want to take the $610 one, right? And all they needed to do was listen to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they would have been home. They wouldn't have had to pay for the $100 in the cab. They wouldn't have had to pay for the $300 in the hotels. They wouldn't have to pay for all of the meals for them.
They paid $600 anyway.
Yes. And it's so fascinating. And I just love watching it unfold like that because he knew.
Yeah.
And it's so true that we just gotta sometimes relax and see what happens, instead of panicking
and watch it all work out better.
It always does.
We could have planned it.
Yeah,
it does.
So, I know.
But with that, we are out of time.
We are.
Thank you, Sandra. This was awesome.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.